Hey Aries, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your second half of November general reading here. Before I get started, just a quick announcement for you. Be Your Own Intuitive course is now available for registration. Really excited about it. The information about how to sign up is in the description box below over at my website. We're going to learn how to truly be your own intuitive, how to hone and click in with your intuitive abilities that I believe everybody has. It's for all skill levels. We'll meet every week for 3 weeks via Zoom audio. It's going to be a good old time. There's going to be partner work and worksheets and question and answer time and all of that good stuff. Also, I have a newsletter now where I recommend books, and I do a monthly animal energy, and I talk about current obsessions from tarot decks to albums to everything. So all of that stuff is over at my website, which is in the description box below. All right, let's talk about your meditation. I saw a buffalo, people, a buffalo. I also saw, the first thing that I saw was a campfire, okay? And I heard shamanic drumming, right? It was like doom, 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 doom. Like it felt almost ceremonial, very like shaman vibes. And then I saw the image of a Native American person, and it felt like they were the medicine person of the tribe or the leader of something to do with like maybe an actual shaman, standing with this image of the buffalo. And there was this very distinct energy of, because I associate buffaloes with material abundance, right? Trusting that you're always going to have what you need despite how things appear. Like there's this image, like in this deck here, the buffalo is shown, with a storm in the background. There's this sense of security, earth energy, ritual, family, tradition, dotting your I's, crossing your T's. It feels like you are truly in your home energy of the Emperor key. But it feels really lovely. Fire also represents transformation, right? And warmth and community and stories and tradition and ancestors. So let's see what your animal energy is, Aries. But it really feels like, how do I put this? Yeah, it really feels like there's this energy of you've got everything in hand. Everything is under control. No one needs to worry because Aries has it handled. That's what that feels like to me. You could be feeling that way about your own situation. You could be called to step into that energy of faith and trust and knowing that you're always going to have what you need, right? There's something about that. So I'm obsessed that this came up. You got the earthworm. So just like the buffalo, you do have some earth energy here, which is going back to that sense of feeling grounded and abundance. Now this is really interesting because the earthworm for me equates to a Thule energy or like a page of pentacles, right? Which is really beautiful. This speaks of, this is really cool. This speaks of embarking upon a new chapter, right? But in order for you to embark upon that new chapter, there can't be any sort of clutter left over from anything before. That can be clutter in terms of, physical clutter, where you're being asked to really clear out your space to invite newness in. It could be mind clutter, right? Some self-defeating thoughts, attitudes, regrets about where you've been, where you haven't been, who you've been with, who you haven't been with, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? It could also be indicating as well some clutter in the terms of, expectations you've had for yourself, or even setting healthy boundaries with yourself and other people, right? But this is a new cycle coming up here for you guys. The earthworms also have 5 hearts, right? So there's something to that as well. It's coming from a place of true heart grounded centered energy, right? It really does feel, it feels very grounded. Also, I saw, campfire, and then we have this echoed here in this circle. I do feel like you're inviting into your atmosphere a lot of newness. It feels really, really nice. A lot of newness, a lot of new opportunity. I feel like it might require some risk on your part, okay? Could be financial risk. Without risk, there's no reward. Risk in terms of a new relationship, risk in terms of, venturing into a new activity that maybe has some risk involved. There's something about that. Now you have the High Priestess here coming off at the first. It's just so beautiful. So this is a beautiful major arcana, and when major arcanas come up, this is about a destined energy, about being somewhere that is a soul marker, so to speak. So this is really beautiful because this is all about what is yet to be revealed within and outside of you. This is also about connecting in with yourself for guidance, right? So I'm getting this shaman energy, and then we have the magical lady herself pop up in your reading. So this is really, really beautiful. It also feels, the best word that I can think of to describe it is a sacred, sound, ritualistic energy, right? It's really, really beautiful here. You know, spiders also represent, in terms of the web here, which is also sort of mirroring the earthworm circle here, right? In the campfire circle. Also represent writers as well. And I do feel like saying, quite literally, you are embarking onto a new chapter of your life. It's really beautiful. You're also, you know, weaving your own web, right? It really feels significant, is what it feels like. Yeah, buddy. So you have the Knight of Swords here. So this is really lovely because this is that sense of communication or truth that is either external or internal, right? But this is that kind of truth that cannot and will not and just won't be denied. It's an absolute truth. The difference between this and, for example, the Ace of Swords, right, is that this has to do with your personal energy or those in your direct atmosphere, right? Other people in your surroundings. So you could be getting messages, right? News, offers. Remember when I said there could be some sort of risk or an opportunity to invest, or an opportunity you might even be, you know, risking by getting into a new relationship with someone. Like, this is going to look different for different people. But there's something about the risk and the reward here. And I do feel like there's going to be some sort of offer or written communication, or perhaps you are signing a contract or signing up for something, is what I'm getting here with this. And it's really, really beautiful. I also want to point out the rook aspect here. You know, this rook piece as well, and this is a rook bird actually. Remember when I said that it really felt where like I's were dotted and T's were crossed, and it felt very the emperor energy of very methodical and deliberate and being at the head of the family, all of that good, authoritative, grounded stuff there. I'm also really drawn to that chess move or that chess piece here because there is a very deliberate feeling to your actions here. It's like you're feeling very sure, right? Or you have a good feeling about it, about whatever this new chapter, you know, risk, point of inspiration is, right? Okay. We have the Knight of Wands here, which is like so beautiful, coming off the back of the Knight of Swords. So knights are about a very forward energy here. So you are definitely off to the races here. But these also speak of people in your direct atmosphere. I do feel like with this Knight of Wands here, you are showing up with the first, you know, fire energy we've had in the spread so far. It's interesting here. Because remember when I said that the buffalo is about trusting that you're always going to have what you need despite appearances? So the reason that the ostrich puts its head down like that is to protect itself from predators, because predators far off, right, will only see this. And this looks like a big like rock, right? Like a big feathery rock. And predators are like, oh, nothing to see there. I'm going to keep it moving, right? And that's what it appears to be. But if you just remove this, if they were to come a little closer, they would see it's actually an ostrich, right? So that's interesting in terms of like how things appear, right? Now also the ostrich's legs, these are its it's actually like lethal feature here, right? But you wouldn't necessarily consider an ostrich to be particularly lethal, but they are with these legs. The legs slay all day, right? There is this distinct energy of what something appears to be and what it actually is. I feel like you guys are going to be... I feel this very distinct energy again with this earthworm. It's a new cycle. I'm getting the Page of Pentacles. I feel like it's a new job or a new project or new real estate or new partnership. There's something that you're going to have an opportunity to invest in or participate. I just heard the word participate in. This could even be a new class, learning something that you're just like, you know, this is not something I ever saw myself doing. It appears a bit, but I really have a good feeling about this. But it feels like this risk is going to be worth the reward. And sometimes, you know, risk can come in a lot of different forms. Sometimes risk is just doing something new, right? Because that can be scary and a risk in itself, right? Depending on where you're coming from. Wow, this is really, really beautiful. So we have the Two of Pentacles here. How stunning are these? We have the Two of Pentacles here. It says equilibrium. So you have a 2 and a 2, because the High Priestess is the number 2 arcana key, major arcana key, right? So The Two of Pentacles here traditionally is about multitasking or weighing your options or going this or that, this and that. Let's see how I feel about this. I'm going to use my feelings and my head to make this decision, right? But I want to point out something that is really calling my name right now. There is this aspect here. So in the shamanic tradition, there's a very shamanic vibe here, but the shamanic aspect of this too has a lot to do with healing, right? And connecting to yourself in a grounded way where you can have that beautiful feeling of, inner confidence and purpose. Inner confidence and purpose, right? Because in the shamanic tradition, there's something called the world tree. When you connect to the world tree, like it has this image of all of these roots going down, down, down into the earth. And I love that this is coming up for you guys with the earthworm. It feels like the earth energy here is the ticket. And when I think about the campfire that I saw, that is built upon the earth. So it's almost as if you're laying a foundation for a future reality that is going to be really like a campfire, bright, and also like fire is, a point of transformation, but also a source of warmth and comfort for you as well. So it feels really pertinent in that way. And this is really, really lovely, right? And I do keep hearing the word foundation here. And it feels like the foundation for whoever this is for or around you is very strong. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Do you see how this is a fox here. It's got this little baby and the rest of the babies are down here. Remember when I said that there was that aspect of ancestors or generations or making sure that everyone in yourself is taken care of? There's an aspect of this here too. It just feels like you couldn't be more prepared than you are, right? Oh God, the Emperor. I tell y'all, it really feels like you guys are like truly in your Emperor energy, and I'm completely obsessed with that. Remember when it's exactly what I was saying. Knight of Swords with the Emperor energy. This is you feeling very grounded and sure about this direction that you're moving in, about this communication you get, about this offer, about this contract, about this class, about this new venture. I do feel like some of you guys are writers or have begun writing or are picking up writing that maybe you haven't in a while, or finding a lot of beautiful inspiration through journaling. But I do feel like some of you guys, there's a writing aspect. Some of you guys could even be joining a writer's group or thinking about starting something about writing, something to do with the written word for some of you guys, okay? Or again, contracts, things that are written. Really beautiful here, right? I cannot say it enough. This is the most self-assured reading. Like it just feels like incredibly self-assured. Again, with these shamanic like imagery here, with the skulls here, it's really, really beautiful. And again, I want to point something out. Remember how I said how things appear to be, how they actually are. This does not appear to be a sturdy foundation. This is literally standing at this peak here. But actually, it really is. And I have this very particular, draw to the fact that he is standing on the bones of those who came before him and paved the way. And I don't mean that in like a grim or morbid way. I mean that in deriving strength and inspiration and comfort from your family, your ancestors, your, those who came before you. It feels really nice. Really, really nice. Yep, Knight of Wands. Yeah, there's a really good feeling around money and community here. Ooh, I am so obsessed. Remember how I mentioned the Ace of Swords and then you came with the Ace of Swords? Yes. Truth with the Knight of Wands. Guess what Ace of Swords also represents? Writers. Hello. Also big ideas, big opportunities through writing. This is really beautiful. Like, remember when I said the crossing of the T's and the dotting of the I's, and then you have the Ace of Swords here with the Knight of Wands? This is so stunning. You are passionate and clear-headed about this new direction that you're heading into, this venture or this opportunity, right? I feel like how you're spending your time, it's like you're hedging your bets, or you're taking a risk, or you're trying something new, or you're allowing yourself to see something in a different light that is very invigorating for you. And it feels really beautiful, really juicy. Yeah. I really love how this is depicted. So you see this full moon here, and then we have the owl and the lynx, and both of these energies represent, as does the high priestess actually, discerning truths that have been hidden or not easily seen or discerned before. Yeah, that feels very pertinent for you guys, right? It's like you're seeing things incredibly clearly at the moment. And it's a really beautiful energy to be in, especially as an Aries. You know, we all go through times of self-doubt or second guessing ourselves or wondering if we made the right decision. And sometimes an energy is most aptly described by what is not present, just as much as talking about what is present. I'm going to tell you what is not present in this reading. Self-doubt is not present in this reading. You feel incredibly sure. And if, you know what, and this is a really interesting aspect of it too with the owl and the lynx, if you do have moments of doubt, because yeah, you are human, you are faking it till you make it, honey, and you would never know by looking at you. It's like game face. I actually think there's something to that with the game face aspect of it. Yeah, there's a game face aspect to this. It's really interesting. Let's get an oracle. I feel like a feathered messenger for you guys. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed. Da, 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 da. So this is absolute favorite card in this deck. I'll have you know. The bluebird. I'm really happy that you got this. Early bird gets the worm, by the way. That feels important. Early bird gets the worm. Yeah, remember when I said you're investing in something or taking a chance, or it's like the lack of self-doubt, the lack of you know, too much Two of Pentacles weighing thing. It's just, this is really working in your favor. It's really good. You are being gifted with blessings of happiness and peace. Tweet, tweet. Yeah, this comes as absolutely no surprise. The energy of this reading is incredibly positive. This is really beautiful. And it just kind of feels like this is also just a way of spirit saying, like, keep doing what you're doing. Well done. Like, you know what I mean? Your home energy of the Emperor is very much working for you. So allow it to work for you, right? And if you do come against, you know, or come up against moments of doubt or doubt from other people, you know, people weighing in, giving their opinion, the Emperor cares very little. He cares about the welfare of others, but he doesn't much care about their opinions. And that's what makes him the Emperor. That's what makes him the absolute truth, right? With this Ace of Swords here, right? So allow yourself to be in your home energy of the Emperor. It's really, really beautiful, right? There's also this sense of knowing that you have all the information you could possibly have, right? Whether it's a good feeling or you checked your facts or you did your homework or you talked to other people's references, whatever. This is going to be a lot different for these different people. Whatever this is for you, it's like you have all the information you could possibly have. I do feel like some of it is coming from a feeling place with the High Priestess, right? And just trust and know and go for it. Because I see this really interesting image of someone. It's really, really funny how this is coming forward. Hulk Hogan used to have a show. I don't remember what it was called, but he used to have this reality show. And I remember this one, just like forever ago, there was this one scene where he was like, you know, the George Foreman grill, it's like hugely, vastly popular George Foreman grill, made George Foreman just loads of money, right? He goes, you know, those people came to me first and said if I wanted to do a Hulk Hogan grill or like a Hulk Hogan milkshake or something, I don't know, the protein shake or something. And he goes, and I passed on the grill. I passed on the grill. The George Foreman grill people came to me and asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said no. Even though I had a feeling that I should, I passed on it. And then look what happened. That is coming up for you in this context. Trust what you know to be true and follow what feels right and what you know is right in your bones. Quite literally in your bones. You know it in your bones. That's what this whole thing feels like too. Like a knowing that is in the bones. Okay? You better work it out, Aries. I'm absolutely here for you showing up in your own reading in this way. I love it. This is your second half of September general reading. I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I just love reading y'all's comments. And with that being said, just thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.